Hello again, everybody, and welcome back to another day here to learn some English. Yeah? I imagine that probably a lot of people are on holiday today, yeah, because today at school, I think, is the first day of the Easter holiday. So it's understandable if everybody has sort of tossed to the side their ideas of learning anything today, but that's okay. I'm here because I forgot to tell you last week that it is a holiday, and I was debating whether or not to come, whether or not to do the class, or to just wait until after the holiday. And I figured, okay, I forgot to tell you, it's on me. So I rustled up something quite quickly, and I can't imagine that today's class is going to be um, too long or too difficult. We're going to do a little bit of vocabulary, some collocations with give, make, and do. And then we'll have a look at the speaking part of the exam for the first certificate where you compare two photographs, and on the advanced certificate where you have to choose two photographs and answer a question about. Um, as always, I've got the chat box open, so if you have any questions or doubts or comments, you can feel free to throw those in the chat box, and as I see them, I will answer them. Okay? Hopefully, when we get to the speaking section, we can have a little bit of a conversation, or you can throw into the chat some of your ideas about what you would say on the exam. And yeah, so without further ado, let's get going. So let me throw this over here, and I will go down in the bottom. Yep, hello, here I am at the bottom. Okay, now I just need to, well, I would like to move a couple of things around first. Okay, so that I can see better. Very good. All right, now I'm over here, and I've got a camera over here, or a screen over here, so I'll be bouncing around a little bit. But ideally, we're going to get in and out. All right. So I've only got a few people here in with me at the moment. You can say hi. I don't bite. All right. So as I mentioned, we're going to do collocations. Well, instead of which, it should have been with expressions. Which expressions? I'm sorry, you're right. Which expressions go with do, make, and give? So what words do we tend to use with do, with make, or with give? And then we will look at the speaking part, and that'll be it for today. All right, so a nice quick lesson. All right, what are the collocations we are going to use? Well, obviously for Spaniards, when you're a Spanish speaker, obviously make and do are the same word in Spanish, or they're translated the same way. So a lot of the times when we have expressions in English with make or do, you make a mistake, right? Sometimes you're not sure. Do I use do or do I use make? Okay. When I was learning Spanish, I had the same problem, or I probably do still have the same problem with ser and estar, yeah, because in English we only use to be. So for me to remember, is it ser or is it estar? It can be difficult, and I consider myself an advanced Spanish speaker. Yeah, I've been speaking Spanish now for almost 20 years. So we've got do and make, and the collocations that go with do and make. Make a recommendation, make a comment, make an apology, make a suggestion, make a telephone call, make an impression on someone, and we'll see how that impression can be used in different ways. Make an improvement, make the right choice, make use of something, and make a point. Okay, now some of these are translated into Spanish almost the same, yeah, hacer, and some are just different. And then with do, a lot of times with do, if you remember it's an activity, then Hey, Enrique. Good to see you again today. Thank you for stopping in. With do, a lot of times it has to do with an activity. Now, there are exceptions, okay? So, for example, you do the washing up, but you make your bed. And yes, making your bed is an activity. So, there is an exception, right, to that. But in general, if you're doing an activity, then it's do, okay? So do your best, do the best you can, do activities, as I just said, do business, do exercise, do harm, do some shopping. There should be a space in there with some shopping. Do sport, do chores, do the cooking, do nothing, do research, um, do someone a favor. Okay, this one tends to be quite popular for making a mistake. Yeah, a lot of people in Spanish want to say make a favor. Yeah, do me a favor, please. Okay, can you do me a favor? Do experiments, do something right. Do your hair, yeah, if you want your hair in a special way. Today I don't. That's why I'm wearing my hat. I didn't do my hair today. Do your job and do some work. Okay. Um, my advice to you is that if you see any expression here specifically that you didn't know, or that hey, I wouldn't have said that. I would say, make me a favor. That's okay. If you see that you tend to make the same mistakes with a collocation, jot that down. Yeah, take it down in a notebook, take it down somewhere, and then hopefully you can try to put it into practice and learn how to not make that mistake. Um, I don't expect you to write all of these down, because I imagine now that we're at the B2 and the C1 level that a lot of these sound familiar to you, and well, you don't make that mistake, okay? And then finally, I threw in here give, because sometimes there's an overlap. Not too much, but sometimes there is. To give a speech, right? Give a lecture. A lecture is usually what a professor will do. Okay, to give a lecture, it's a give a talk. Yeah, to talk, and so that everybody can learn from what you're speaking about, what you're saying. Give a talk, give a lecture, give a performance. Excuse me. Give money back. Okay. So give back. Obviously, the phrasal verb give back. Give a chance, or give someone a chance, give something a chance. Yeah. Give an opportunity, give someone an impression. So if you look over at make, we have to make an impression on someone and to give someone an impression. Not quite the same. Give advice, give details, give instructions, give a choice, give news. With this one, always remember that news is plural. We don't give a new, or to give a news. I know a lot of people want to put that in there because in Spanish you have una noticia. It's not the same. In English, it's uncountable and always plural. So give some news. Give me the news. The news? Yes. Give me the news. What's the news? Is it good news? Is it bad news? But we never say news, okay? Um, give someone a ride. Yeah, give a ride, or give a lift. These are synonyms to give a ride, give a lift. Give a speech. I repeated that one. Give a guess. Yeah, give it a guess. Yeah, I'd like to give a guess. Yeah, make a guess, take a guess. Give a guess, take a guess. I think I would use take as well. Give a hand. Okay, so give a hand can be two meanings, and this is often a lot of times a pun or a joke. Give a hand means to help, yeah, to give someone a hand, echar una mano, and it also means to applaud, to give someone a hand. So you can say, oh, can you give me a hand, please, with this? And say, ha ha ha, very funny. And to give someone a call. So look at that one. You make a telephone call, or you give someone a call. Okay, make a call, give someone a call. Yeah, give my mom a call. I have to give my mom a call. It's her birthday. Yeah, or I have to make a phone call. Who are you calling? I'm calling my mom because it's her birthday. All right. So with these collocations, the only thing I can say again, the easiest way, no, not the easiest way, the best way to learn these collocations is by reading, right? I mean, the only way you're going to get this to sound familiar or sound right to you is by reading. Reading and practice. But practice filling in gaps or memorizing or things like that, that's boring. I mean, it's not fun. So I would suggest reading. And if you read and you're actively reading for collocation, for do, make, and give, for example, let's say these three, and you go into a magazine or a book or whatever it is you're reading, and you see make, do, or give, what is it collating with? Okay, collocating with. Is it with a comment? Is it with advice? Is it with an impression? Is it with your job or to do your best? Or what is the make, do, or give talking about? And then process it. Yeah, actively read for collocations. That's the best way I can tell you that that you can practice with these. That being said, who would I be if I didn't set up a way to practice? I mean, we're here now to do a little bit of controlled practice. So I set up a little controlled practice here. We're going to do with the three verbs, do, make, and give. And I want you to put them with the in the space and in the proper verb tense. Now, there aren't many of you here, so I hope that some of you will participate. If not, we will go through these slowly but surely. And if you've been here before, you know what to do. Just type in a number, type in your answer. You don't have to write the whole sentence. I don't expect you to write the whole sentence. You can write just the answer. If there are two answers in the same question, a comma between the two, and that would be fine. Okay. Remember to hello, Barbara. The important thing to remember here, apart from the collocation itself, is the verb tense. Okay, so if it has to be in the continuous or in the infinitive or in the gerund or whatever, or in the past or in the future, put that in the proper tense. So without further ado, I will ask you to start with number one. Give it a read, and then write in do, make, or give, depending on the collocation that is in the sentence. And let's see what you got. So I'm going to try to move this. Okay, good. Okay, Barbara says number one is make. Before you make a comment, yes. Barbara, have you got the second verb for that, for number one? Make and... Before you make a comment, Enrique says give and make. Before you give a comment, you should be sure you won't make any harm. No, Enrique, no. So the first one is make, as Barbara mentioned. And Barbara says make and make. So before you make a comment, you should be sure you won't do any harm. Okay, so do collates with harm. Harm and damage, okay? Generally, harm is about a person, emotionally or physically to harm someone, and damage is about an object, okay? So if you do some damage to your car, for example, you get into a car accident, oh, how much damage did you do to the car? You do damage, or you can do harm, all right? So do harm, do damage. Also do good and do well and do your best. Number two, okay, when the Queen Enrique says gives with an S Okay, I like the fact that you realized it's third person, Enrique, but in the second part of the sentence, it's in the past, so be careful with that. When the queen Okay. Barbara has jumped to number 3. This was the best performance he's ever made. Okay, hello, Julian. Julian, I imagine you're saying number 2. When the queen gave her speech to the nation, everyone was listening. Yes, very good. This was the best performance he's ever. Okay, Julian. Enrique says gave for number 3. Barbara says made for number 3. Nope. So here we've got performance, and you give a performance, and it's in the present perfect. So this was the best performance he has ever given. Que jamás había. Well, I don't know in Spanish. And I've been speaking Spanish for 20 years, he says. Right. This was the best performance he's ever given. Let's jump on number 4. If you your best, then you us the impression that you care about your work. Oh, I'm in the way, and I think I'm going to have to move out of the way. Or move myself out of the way. I'll put myself kind of here-ish. Okay, so I moved over. And hopefully, number 4, if you do your best, then you give us the impression that you care about your work. Yes, very good. Very good, Enrique. Very good, Barbara. Excellent. Julian is doing number 5. Okay. If Julian, given the choice, I'd rather do some sport than stay my bed. No. Okay, so Julian, if you've just come in, remember we've got only 3 choices. Okay, do, make, or give. So stay is not going to be possible, but I think you know this. If given the choice, I'd rather do some sport than make my bed. Don't want to make my bed. I want to do some sport. Yes, very good. Number 6, Enrique says, give. Could you give me a hand with this? Could you give me a hand with this? Barbara agrees. And yes, you're both correct. Absolutely. Spot on. Could you give me a hand with this? Go on then. Barbara jumps to number 7. We must make sure. Okay, Barbara, try to give me all 3. Make, doing, and to do. We must make sure that we are doing the right choice if... Oh, I forgot a subject. All right, so let's jump back then. Sorry about that. Okay, so we must, Enrique says, we must make sure that we are doing the right choice if we are going to do business together. All right, almost, Enrique, almost. We must make sure, yes, that we are, it's not doing the right choice. I'm glad that you put it into the gerund, or I should say the present participle, that we are doing. No. So if it's a choice, you make a choice. You make a choice. So we must make sure that we are making the right choice if we are going to do business together. So be careful with that. Yeah, you make a choice. You don't do a choice. You make a choice. Making to do. Thank you, Julian. Very good. Number 8, Who makes your hair? Says Enrique. No, Enrique, you don't make your hair. You don't make your hair. So number 8, maybe we can get a correction. Who does your hair? Okay, yeah, good. I did not stipulate any time here, so I'll accept that. Yeah, who does your hair? I think I wrote, yeah, who did your hair? Obviously, here there is no time clause, so you don't know if it's does or did. But yeah, does. Who does your hair? Like, it's amazing. I want to go too. Who does your hair? Or, oh my gosh, what happened to your hair? Who did your hair in the past, right? 9, your teacher can, Alejandro, hello Alejandro, can give you some advice if you aren't sure. Enrique, be careful because Enrique, you answered before, you said gives. Your teacher can give. Yeah, after can, you need just the infinitive. You don't need with the S, okay? So your teacher can give you some advice if you aren't sure. And number 10, please me a favor. And so Enrique says, make me a favor, give me a chance to do an apology. Be careful, Enrique. Not quite. You've only got one of those are correct. Barbara says, please make me a favor and give me a chance to do an apology. No. Julian says, please do me a favor and give me a chance to do an apology. No. I'm not going to tell you which one you have a mistake in, so we have to think, all right? So we don't... let's see, Enrique, Barbara, Julian. I think, Alejandro, do you want to have a go at number 10? Enrique says, please do me a favor and give me a chance to make an apology. Yes, Enrique, very good. Okay, so let me go back over here. Yes, please do me a favor and give me a chance to make an apology. Okay, so do a favor. And remember, I said do a favor. This is a common one that a lot of people make a mistake on. Yeah, a lot of people want to say make a favor, but it's do a favor. Okay, that one is difficult because if you don't learn it or if you haven't learned it from the beginning, and a lot of you are B2, C1 students, if you didn't learn this right at the beginning to do somebody a favor, then you have it burnt into your brain as make a favor, and people didn't correct you enough when you were starting out, because this is something that I do at the A2 level. I really go after my students with do a favor. Do me a favor. Can you do me a favor and hold this pencil? Can you do me a favor and get me some paper? Can you do me a favor and erase the board? Can you do me a favor? And I am always telling my little ones, yeah, the 4th of primary, 5th of primary, do me a favor, do me a favor, do me a favor. Okay? Give me a chance and to make an apology. So I'm going to just go back up to the previous one so that you can see, again, if you want to take any of these down, okay, write these down. Now is your chance, okay? Remember, we had a couple of mistakes in there, so I'm going to assume that not all of these are properly stored in your memory. Yeah, okay, they're not on the tip of your tongue. You have to think about them, like do a favor, do my hair, okay, make the right choice, give a performance. Okay, so these different ones, which aren't everyday speech, but they are very important. If you say make me a favor, then on the exam, especially on the C1 exam, it's not going to count towards your mark improving. Remember, oh, I'm in the way here. Again, I think I can make myself smaller. Yeah. Remember that on the exam, you don't get punished for mistakes. You get awarded points, if you will. I mean, it's not like really, you don't get points, but you're awarded a better mark for correct usage of vocabulary, correct usage of grammar, using the grammar that corresponds to the level which you're examining. Okay, so if you're only using the present simple and the past simple, but you're examining the C1, you're not going to get a very high mark because you're using English that's too easy. You have to show that you know more complex grammar. Okay, so remember, making these mistakes, it's not going to punish you, it's just not going to help you, right? Okay, so I've left this up for a little bit now. I hope you can see that properly. I know yesterday I had some problems. My writing was too small. Actually, can you let me know if this writing is too small? Just let me know in the comments section really quickly. Give me a yes, it's okay, or a no, it's not okay. Yeah, can you say yes, okay, no, not okay? If you can read this. Okay, it's perfect. Thank you, Barbara. Okay, great. So let's move on. And I want to go down and have a look at, thank you, everybody, for that. So let's go all the way through this again. Okay, and the next one. There we go. Now, part 2. I think it's part 2 on the advanced. It might be part 3 on the... No, it's part 2 on the first certificate. It might be part 3 on the advanced. But anyway, it doesn't matter. The part is not the most important part or the most important thing. It's the activity that we're doing. We're going to be... I'm right behind the logo. You didn't tell me I'm behind the logo. That's embarrassing. All right, let's move me right here. Boink. Okay, hello again. Now I'm not behind the logo. That logo gets in my way all the time. Okay, so as I was saying, on the exam, doesn't matter what what part it is. Yeah, I thought it was pretty funny as well. I'd only check myself every once in a while. I don't have it like right in front of me, so sometimes I look over and I'm like asking everybody a question and nobody is answering. I'm like, why isn't anybody answering my question? And I look over and there's just me in front of the question because you can't see the question. Or I'm behind the logo. Right. So comparing the photographs. If you're in the B2, if you're going to sit the B2 exam, the first certificate exam, you only have 2 photos. And you have to compare, contrast the photos, and answer a question. Right. On the C1 exam, you're given 3 photos. You must choose 2 of the photos and then describe those 2 photos. But you get to choose which 2 you want to compare. Then you will have to answer a question about those photos. Well, I say then, but it's all in the same 1 minute. So when you're speaking, don't stop speaking. Don't stop comparing them. Don't stop talking about them until the examiner says, thank you very much. Then your minute is over. If you stop early, then the examiner is going to think, okay, this person does not have the flexibility or the fluency with English in order to fill 1 minute describing something. And to be honest, when they give you these photos, there is so much information in these photos that 1 minute is nothing. Really, it's nothing if you're comfortable with the language. If you're an A2 student and I say describe the photo, or I say compare the photos, then it could be difficult. But at the B2 and the C1, this should not be difficult. You'll compare the photos. You're going to have to answer the question, okay? And answer the question means listen carefully to the instructions because there will be a question in there. But at the top at the top there is, not usually, there is. The question is there for you to read, all right? This is done in pairs, obviously. So when you're speaking, your partner is listening to you because the examiner will ask your partner a short question about what you just said, and vice versa. So when your partner is speaking, make sure that you're paying attention, okay? Because when your partner is finished after 1 minute, the examiner is going to ask you a question, a small question, 10, 15 seconds, about what they just answered. Okay, so here are the 3 photos. I've given you a lot of time to look at them. On the exam, you get no time to look at them before you have to start answering, okay? Maybe 2 seconds, okay? So they will give you the instructions, and then they give you the photos, repeat the instructions, and then you start. Okay, I know that, for example, in the Escuela Oficial de Idiomas, you are given whatever 30 seconds or 45 seconds. I'm not exactly sure how much time on which exam, but you're given a short amount of time to sort of collect your thoughts, get your ideas together, and then you can answer. Not so on the Cambridge, okay, on the first certificate or the advanced certificate. So you've had a long time. You've had a lot of time. Here we have people doing free time activities indoors. Okay? So I want you to compare 2 of the photographs and tell me what are the advantages or disadvantages. Well, what are the advantages of doing these activities indoors? Okay? Or these free time activities. Okay? So maybe we'll take about 5 minutes, and I want you in the next 5 minutes, to just put in ideas, full sentences, into the chat box about how you would talk about these sentences. As you're putting the ideas in the chat box, then I'll give you some feedback as I'm reading them, okay? And if it's your comment that I'm giving you feedback on, make sure you listen and you pay attention to any of the mistakes that I correct for you, because I will not be writing them into the chat box for you to take note of. You'll have to listen, okay? So choose 2 of these and make it clear which ones you're talking about. One of the benefits of, or I love playing chess indoors, blah, 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 blah. Okay? So compare 2 of the photographs and tell me what are the advantages of doing these free time activities indoors, or these indoor free activities. All right, so it's on you. I'm waiting for your contributions. All right, it doesn't matter which 2 you choose. You can choose, any of them. And please remember also, at this level, you're not only describing the photo, okay? Don't say what you see as a description of the photo. I want you to be able to compare and contrast the photo with another photo. So you should have some linker, or you should have some connector that ties one photo with the other photo. Okay, so you want to describe 2 of the 3, Alejandro. I think, is that your question? All? No, okay. I think you accidentally put your answer in without wanting to. All right, I imagine that everybody is typing and it takes a little bit of time. Yeah, okay. It takes a little bit of time to get your answer into the chat box. I understand. It's not ideal, this forum for doing speaking activities, but it's the fastest thing that I could put together. Julian, cooking is an activity that allows you to express your creativity, and in the end, you have usually something to eat. Yeah, fine, great. The only thing I would add to that, Julian, would be maybe one of the biggest advantages of okay, and I would also maybe have attached maybe a however or a despite in there as well, which would allow me to compare or contrast that with another of the photos. Yeah, in the same sentence. But Perfect. I like it. It's a win-win situation. Absolutely. Lovely expression. Win-win situation. Okay. Yeah. Win-win situation from Stephen Covey, I think that was, wasn't it? A win-win situation. Um, the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, I think. It's a win-win situation. Julian, you should come to my house and cook. That sounds to me like a win-win situation. Yeah, you can be as creative as you want. What else have we got? Barbara, I would choose the first one and the second one. Okay, so be careful with that. I would choose the first one and the second one. I'd rather be cooking than watching TV during this quarantine. Yeah, okay, good. Are they watching TV? Yeah, I guess they're watching TV, but I think they're playing video games, but that's okay. Maybe it's not very clear. Yeah, I'm not such a great cook. Okay, fair enough then. um, I would choose, okay, be careful, Barbara, with the spelling. You wrote chose, which is the past simple. You want choose, which would be the infinitive, 2 O's. I'd rather be cooking than watching TV. Okay. Maybe you could objectively, yeah, this is an important thing as well. When you start out explaining or talking about the photos that you're describing, describe them objectively first. Okay, when you objectively, some people really enjoy playing video games because blah, blah, X, Y, and Z, or chess is such a great game for some people because X, Y, and Z. Okay, after you're done with with an objective sort of description or what have you, if you're running out of time, then you can put in sort of your speculation and your or running out of time. No, if you're running out of ideas, then you can put in your speculation and your subjective opinion about it. Playing chess is an enjoyable game, but it can also be a competitive sport. Okay. I think that's up for debate, Alejandro, whether or not chess is a sport. I believe that they are passing the time because there isn't a clock for each plays of the player. Okay, so I don't know what you mean by the clock. However, be careful because we don't pass the time. They're passing the time. No, they're spending time, or they're taking their time. Yeah, take your time. Yeah, tomar su tiempo. To take your time. They're taking their time because there isn't a clock for each play. Okay, each play, singular, for each play of the players. Stefania, welcome. I prefer the second situation because I love spending time with my friends, especially now that I miss them a lot because of the quarantine. Okay, good. Excellent, Estefania. I like it. Yeah, especially now that I miss them a lot because of the quarantine. Yeah, brilliant. Okay, obviously on the day of the exam we won't be in quarantine, so you can't say that. But okay. The difference between cooking and playing chess is that when you are cooking or in cooking, you are able to swap ideas. However, playing chess is more individual. Yeah, okay, good. Swap, spelling, Enrique, SWAP, okay? Not OP, AP, swap, SWAP, all right? I apologize if I correct your spelling and it was a typo. Okay, a typo is when you make a mistake typing on the board, a typo. So if you make a typo and I correct your spelling, forgive me. If I think that that it wasn't a typo, then I'll try to correct your spelling. But I don't mean to be berating you over or beating you over the head with your spelling. It's not my intention. Swap ideas. Okay, we got some good ones. Maybe we can do 2 or 3 more sentences and then I'll move on to do the next one. I've got one more set that I'd like to practice with, and we can call it an evening. Remember, you can talk about why the people are choosing to do these. Okay, so for example, they enjoy Maytube. Hey, welcome back. Good to see you again. It's more suitable playing chess indoors than outdoors because the players need to be very concentrate. Okay, so be careful. Concentrate. No, they need concentrate is like when you have something that's very condensed, right? So you can have orange juice concentrate, right? That's when you have like, or for example, laundry detergent. Yeah, concentrate. Yeah, be careful with that. The players need to concentrate. So don't use the adjective, use the verb. The players need to concentrate. So if, okay, yeah, good. They need to be very focused, with an ed at the end. They need to be very focused. Okay, so if they were playing outside, they could be disturbed, again, ed, or annoyed. Good. There you have the ed, by all the sounds around them. Right. Okay, good. So be careful with the adjectives: focused, disturbed, annoyed. Okay. I hope that was clear about the adjectives. If you have any questions about ed or ing adjectives, we can talk about that. Nowadays, it's a great time to improve your cooking skills. Furthermore, to feed you better. Yeah, okay, good. I like it with the use of furthermore. Absolutely, yeah, furthermore. Furthermore, to feed you or to feed you or to feed you and your family better. Okay, excellent. If any more sentences come in, then I'll have a look at them and make a comment on them. However, let's go on to another 3 sentences. Okay, and I'm going to read out the instructions, and then you guys can have another go at this. All right, at the speak. That's backwards. Here we go. So now we have different leisure activities that people choose to do when on holiday. Okay, choose 2 of the pictures, and I want you to choose 2 of the pictures and compare them. Okay, and tell me why you think people choose to do these activities when on holiday. Why do people choose to do these activities when on holiday? And I forgot to write the question on the screen, but usually I can put it in here actually. Why do people choose to do these activities while on holiday? Okay, so compare 2 of the photos and answer the question, why do people choose to do these activities while on holiday? What else have we got? So it looks like we're going to be stuck in this for another couple weeks after the 26th, apparently, after today's announcement. It doesn't seem to be very nice. Well, by nice, I mean pleasant. But here we are, right? Although I must admit, I prefer being in class and talking to people and relating with people instead of staring at a camera. But it is what it is. We have to make the best of it, right? Now I'm in the way again. I keep getting in the way. Boink. No, I'm not in the way again. Okay, so now you can see that this is a family at the zoo. So what have we got? I imagine that everybody is going to hit enter all at the same time, and I'm gonna have like 6 sentences to read all at the same at the same time. All right, but that's okay. I'm waiting, and I imagine, boom, it's gonna go, and I'm gonna have like all of you. I wonder who the first one is going to be. Enrique's pretty fast. We'll see. Julian, okay. Congratulations, Julian. I knew it. Everybody's going to come in at the same time. Okay. People like traveling to expose themselves to other cultures and see things that, okay, so that you've never seen before. Okay, so Julian, people is they, right? So make sure that you have an agreement there. So people like traveling to expose themselves, okay, and to see things that they have never seen before. Be careful with expose yourself. To expose yourself can immediately conjure an imagination of people like exposing themselves, right? People like traveling in order to experience new cultures or experience other ways of living, things like that, and you avoid the misunderstanding that expose yourself might open you up to. Christina No Gamer, I think that they want to have a great time with their friends. Okay, again, with the agreement. Make sure your adjectives and your possessive adjectives and your subject or your objects match, okay, with their friends. However, they can improve their abilities. No, their ability, and without an H, yeah, in English. They can improve their skills in different sports or activities. What are we talking about? Christina, I think you got me here. Which, I don't know which ones you're talking about, Christina. Are you talking about, oops, bye-bye. Traveling is an activity you do when you need to get over from your work for a while. Okay. Moreover, you get a great experience that. Okay, so traveling is an activity that you do when you need to take a step back from work, when you need to relax from work. To get over from something is like to recover, but to get over the flu, for example, or to get over an illness is to recover from the illness, but you don't recover, or I'm sorry, to get over work. Not really. It doesn't work. Okay, so don't use that phrasal verb there, to get over work. We would say to relax from work or to take a step back from work for a while, to relax from work. Moreover, like it, you get a great experience. That, not sure what you're going to finish there. Estefania, spending time with your family at a zoo could be a great idea for holidays, especially nowadays that parents haven't enough time to be with their children. Moreover, this kind of activity is very educative. Ooh, you almost had it, Estefania. Educational. It's very educational. People who have chosen to go to Disney, I think, could be due to their preference for spending their holidays all together in family. Barbara, due to their preference spending their holidays all together as a family. In family, no, as a family. Julian, going to the zoo follows the same path as traveling, to see something that you are not able to see in your daily life. Okay, in your daily life or in your day-to-day life. Alejandro, watching a movie is a simple activity that doesn't involve much money, and it has a lot of types of movies. Okay, Alejandro, my bad. This isn't very clear, but these are not movie posters. These are musical posters, okay? This is for the theater. This is from Broadway. And it's a photo from New York City of Broadway. So I apologize for that, but let's substitute Going to the theater, or I'm sorry, watching a movie for going to the theater. Yeah, going to the theater is a simple activity that doesn't involve much money, and it has a lot, and there are a lot of types of musicals. There are a lot of types of musicals or plays or whatever. Although going to the theater can be quite expensive. Um, Barbara, okay, good. Yeah, all in all, you guys are doing really well. So why choose going to Disney, for example, over going to the theater when you're on holiday? Why would somebody choose going to Disney over going to the theater? Enrique, doing outdoor activities such as, okay, be careful, Enrique, such as visiting a zoo makes you feel better because you are in touch with nature. Moreover, you breathe fresh air from nature. Okay, good. So I am gonna type this one in because breathe this is the verb. Okay, and breath, this is the noun. Okay, so be careful with that. You breathe fresh air, and I'm gonna type this in. Breathe fresh air from nature. Okay. So the nature, no, because nature is just in general. We don't say the nature. In the first picture, I can see a family standing in front of a giraffe. So they must be at the zoo, in the zoo. No, we say at the zoo. They must be at the zoo. They are there because the family likes animals and want their kids to develop the same taste or interests. Okay, they want them to develop the same interests. Yeah, you can say tastes, but interests I think fits here. Because if you had a family, it would be better to be in Disney with children. Okay, to be at Disney. Okay, remember with in and at, because Maytube, you made the mistake. Barbara has made the mistake. I think there was another one who said in. I can't remember who it was exactly. But the difference between in and at. Okay, when you are at a place, you are participating in that institution and what they do. Okay, so if you're at church, you are in the mass and you're participating in the church, okay, in the church activities. If you're at school, remember you're in class, you're participating with that institution, what they do. So at the zoo, you are looking at the animals and participating in what that institution does. The same with Disney. You're at Walt Disney, you're participating in what is Walt Disney. In is you're talking about the physical structure. So you're in the church means you're inside of the building. You're in the school. That means you're in the actual building. Okay, so yeah, you can be in the zoo. Of course, you're in the perimeter of the zoo. And if I'm calling you, I say, "Where are you?" I'm in the parking lot. Where are you? You say, "Well, I'm in the zoo." Okay, I'm inside the zoo. At that moment, you're not participating in the institution of the zoo because you're talking to me. I'm talking to you on the phone. So you're in the zoo. We're talking about the location. But if you're participating like this family is, then you're at the zoo. Okay. Going to the zoo is fun, and also many families go with their children because they love seeing animals. Yes, absolutely. Wonderful. If you had to be better in Disney with children, okay, yep, good. So we read those two. Good, thanks, great, Barbara. I'm glad that helps. A lot of people do make that mistake with in and at, okay? And of course, there are exceptions, yeah, because you would be at the beach. You're not in the beach, but there's not really an institution, okay? You're at the airport. Okay, again, at the airport, yeah, okay, you're participating in an institution of the airport, which is to facilitate your traveling. In the airport, again, it's the telephone call. Where are you? I'm in the airport. Oh, okay. I'm coming right now then. Okay. So in and at. At the park, at the playground. Again, if you're participating in what it is, then it's at. All right. Another minute or two, maybe, if anybody is kind of mid-sentence. I'll let you finish your sentences. And then, or ask any questions, yeah? If you have any questions. I think it was Barbara or Maytube from before with the adjectives. If you're not, who was it? Maytube. If you're not too sure about the adjectives with ed or ing or things like that, let me know. It's something I can talk about very quickly. Going to the theater. Enrique, when you start a sentence with a verb, okay, the subject is the verb, you have to use the gerund in English. Yeah, the ing. Going to the theater, watching a movie. I think you made the same mistake before. When you said what? Yeah. Oh no, it was Alejandro. Sorry, Alejandro wrote watch a movie is a simple activity. You did use the gerund before, doing outdoor activities. So going to the theater, you sit, S-I-T. You sit and just follow a performance, which can give you fun. Okay, give with the infinitive can give you fun. No, which can be fun, or not. Okay, you don't give fun, Enrique. You be fun, which can be fun or not. It depends. Ooh, red flag. Depends on the performance. Big one. Depend on. Okay, that is a big one that so many people forget. Because obviously in Spanish is depende de, depender, depende de, but in English depend on. Yeah, I have a lot of fun with one of my clients, one of my business clients in class, because we are always trying to remember that people are plural and that it depends on something. You can have fun in both places, at both places, but if you have a family, people usually prefer an activity for all the members of the family, or for the whole family, okay, for the whole family, like Disneyland, rather than going to the theater. Okay, good. I think then that looks like it could be it. I'm going to ramble a little bit. Ramble means to talk just about something, anything, and wait for the other sentences to finish coming in. Here we go, Alejandro. Going to an amusement park, such as Disneyland, is very entertaining. So going to the amusement park is the subject. So we don't need it, Alejandro. Yeah, you're repeating the it. Going to an amusement park is very entertaining, and there are so many activities, and there are so many attractions. Very good. Only mistake is the it. All right. As I mentioned at the beginning of the video, now that we have a few more people, there will not be a video next. Well, there may be a video, but there will not be a live session next week. I'm going to take next week to sort of get my things in order and to try to prepare what is going to happen after Christmas here in the Academy, which is still closed, and also moving forward with online ideas. If you have any comments or any questions or any doubts about anything related to the B2 or the C1, you can put them in the comments below. I would love to see them. I'm more than happy to help anybody on any particular part of vocabulary, on grammar, on parts of the exam. All you have to do is make a request, and you would be doing me a favor, because sometimes I just randomly pick an idea and I think, okay, I think some people like this, so we'll do this one today. If you have any ideas, please shoot them towards me. Yeah, so everybody, thank you again. Please stay safe, stay at home. I hope that the cabin fever isn't getting too bad. Cabin fever, yeah, the other day some of my students, I'll put that one in here for you as well. Cabin fever. Oh no. Cabin fever. Cabin fever is when you get this sort of like this antsy feeling that you have to go outside and you start going crazy because you're stuck in your house. Yeah, cabin fever. I hope that your cabin fever isn't too bad and that we are able to at least go out jogging soon. I hear there's some words about letting people go out running by themselves or walking with their children or something. Fingers crossed. Stay safe, wash your hands, stay indoors, use a mask, and thank you for all your kind words. I really like talking to all of you as well. Enrique, no, there won't be a class next week, okay, because I'm going to take the week to try to get things in order. So I will see everybody on the 23rd, April 23rd, okay? I may release a video next week, but not a live streaming class, okay? So I will see everybody in 2 weeks. Take care, be safe, and yeah, see you soon. Okay, bye bye.